Assalamu alaikum. Hello everybody in both face-to-face and in Microsoft Teams platform internet. And welcome to this third session of Keynote speaker of the second International Conference on Smart System and Data Science ICSSD 21. We welcome to Professor Ali Idri, professor at the Higher National Institute of Computer Sciences and System Analysis, ENSIAS, from Mohammed V University in Rabat, Morocco. I will begin by presenting the professor. Ali Idri is full professor at Computer Sciences and System Analysis Higher Institute, ENSIAS. He received his Master and Doctorate of third cycle in Computer Sciences from the Mohammed V University in 94 and 97, respectively. He received his Ph.D. in Cognitive and Computer Sciences from the University of Quebec at Montreal in 2003. Prof. Ali Idri has a strong experience in dealing with the use of software engineering and artificial intelligence in medicine. He has been a principal investigator in multiple research projects. Currently, he is principal investigator of leading national research project titled Machine Learning-Based Breast Cancer Diagnostic and Treatment, which is supported by both the Moroccan Ministry of Higher Education and the National Council of Scientific Research, CNRST. Professor Ali Idri is also a principal investigator of the project facilitating access to reproductive health services for refugee women in Morocco, Peer Cycle 7, administered by United States National Academy of Science and financed by United States Agency for International Development. He was also the principal investigator of a leading project entitled Mobile Personnel Health Records in Morocco, which was supported by both the Moroccan Ministry of Higher Education and the National Council of Scientific Research, CNRST. Prof. Ali Idri ranked third in the top 10 researchers around the world in the field of software effort estimation. He was recently ranked amongst the top 2% researchers around the world in all scientific fields according to the study performed by Stanford. Professor Ali Idri has been awarded the Best Moroccan Research Award in Computer Science for the duration 16-20 during the second edition of Research Excellence Awards ceremony organized by the National Center for Scientific and Technical Research, CNRST, in June 21. He is very active in the fields of software engineering, machine learning, and medical informatics, and has published more than 230 papers in well-recognized journals and conferences such as Information and Software Technology, Journal of Software and System, International Journal of Medical Informatics, Computer Methods and Programs in Biomedicine, and Journal of Applied Soft Computing. Professor Ali Idri, please go ahead for 40 minutes and so or so.
Okay, thank you very much for the introduction. Thank you very much for inviting me to this conference. First of all, I would like to congratulate the organizing committee for making this event possible and successful, even we are passing a critical period under the COVID-19 circumstance. My talk today is on the use of mobile software engineering for reproductive health. This is what I am presenting today is the findings of a leading international project that in which I am the PI, and the project is financed by USAID and managed by the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine in the United States. So I am the principal investigator, and our USG partner is Professor Lynn Riedman from Pennington Biomedical Research Center, and our clinical partner in which we are carrying out all the empirical activities of our project is Professor Hassan Alami, who is a professor in Faculty of Medicine in Rabat, and he is also the Vice Director of Maternité Les Orangeries, a well-known maternity in Rabat. This is where we have carried out all our empirical activities. Okay, so this is the outline of my presentation. So first, an overview of our research team and our research topics. Then an overview of reproductive health mobile application and the benefits from using mobile technologies for reproductive health promotion. After that, the objectives and research question of these projects, PIR 72486. The project organization, the activities that we have carried out until now in the project, and finally, the achievements and perspectives that still remain in this project. So we are a research team in ENSIAS, University of Mohammed V, Software Project Management Research Team. We are around 11 permanent professors, and we have more than 30 Ph.D. students that we are supervising in our team. And we are collaborating with many researchers around the world, from United States for the case of this project that is supported by USAID, and from Montreal, from University of Montreal, with which we have a close collaboration and an Erasmus Plus mobility program, which allows each year 3 to 4 PhD students to carry out research stay in Murcia. We have also with Greece and other countries around the world. So this is our main research topics. We are carrying out a multidisciplinary research involving at least 3 domains. Mainly we are in machine learning, which unfortunately is not the subject of this talk, but maybe we will have the opportunity to present you, maybe for the next edition of this conference, the finding of 2 other projects that we are carrying out in applying machine learning in medical. So we are doing all the tasks that are well known in machine learning: classification, regression, clustering, association. And the other domain is mobile software engineering, which consists on the use of combination of mobile technologies and software engineering paradigms. So as you know, developing application on mobile devices is different than developing and evaluating application in classical devices. So there is a lot of limitation to take into consideration. For a smartphone, you have a low energy, you have a low storage memory, you have a frequent disconnection, you have the size of the screen is small, and so on. So this is why applying and adapting software engineering paradigm to mobile technologies is very important. And we are applying these 2 domains, machine learning and mobile software engineering, to the medical. So what you know, in medicine, you have different subdisciplines, you have cardiology, you have cancers, and so on. So what we are achieving until now is breast cancer. This is the project for machine learning in breast cancer. Reproductive health. This is what I am trying to explain and to present to you today. Diabetes, which is also mainly application of machine learning for blood glucose level prediction for diabetes people, and also cardiology. So the topic of the talk today is applying mobile software engineering for reproductive health services in order to improve these services, promotion of health reproductive knowledge, and also improving the quality of these services. Okay, so this is some photos of the team of the project. So this one is the first meeting that we held in maternity Les Orangeries. So here you have my three PhD students that were involved in this project, mainly for Mariam. She was in the prenatal service. Lamia Sardi was in the postnatal, and Manal Kharbouch was in the contraception service. And here you have our medical collaborator, Professor Hassan Alami, who is the vice director of Les Orangeries, and Professor Bizzat, who is the director of Les Maternités Les Orangeries. And here you have different events that we have organized. So here you have the defense PhD thesis of Mariam. Here you have the defense thesis of Lamia, and other photos for other meetings. Okay, so here you have some statistics that shows the importance of using mobile technologies in order of the promotion of health services. So mobile health applications are one of the fastest growing categories in the app market. And we have now around 97,000 health and fitness apps available for download to smartphone or tablet devices, mainly from Google Play and App Store. And according to a recent report published by Zion Market Research, the global mHealth apps market was valued at approximately $9 billion in 2018, and is expected to generate around 111 billion by the end of 2025. And if you look in for mobile health application in different app stores, mainly you can they are classified as fitness, the most frequent category that appears in the for the mobile apps, lifestyle management, disease management, and so on. Okay, what we are looking in this project is reproductive health services that are, there is a set of services, but 3 are the most common that you can find in any maternity. The first one is contraception. This is the service that allows to women to avoid unwanted pregnancies and also family planning. The prenatal service, this is the most visited service in any maternity that allows to the pregnant woman to follow and manage her health during the period of pregnancy from 1 week to, in general, to 40 weeks. And the postnatal services, this is after delivery, in which the service is dealing with the health of the new mom, new mother, and the newborn. So this is mainly the services that we are looking for implementing our solution in order to improve the accessibility and the quality. Okay, so the general objective of this project were access to accurate information about contraception and family planning, access to safe, affordable, and acceptable contraceptive method that respect the couple's preferences, a right to decide freely and responsibly in the number and spacing of children, access to adequate and quality prenatal care services throughout the period of pregnancy, giving birth safely to a baby that is alive and healthy, access to appropriate postnatal care services that promote optimal health and well-being for the mother and the children. We expect many impacts of our project on reproductive health services. First one, the promotion of reproductive health services using mobile technologies. As you know, everyone can have now a smartphone, and this is an opportunity to have application in these mobile devices, and that the woman can learn and some knowledge about what is reproductive health care. Second, impact to facilitate access to reproductive health services for women that are suffering from substantial geographical inequalities and inequitable distribution of human resources in healthcare services. This is frequent in countries like in Morocco. And after facilitating the access is the second level in terms of maturity, is improving the quality of these services. But also we have some challenges, as in any country that have an economical and social levels like in our countries. The first one is lack of adequate knowledge about reproductive health and spread of stereotypes among women. Some socioeconomic factors, poverty, social inequality, low standard of living, cultural and religious factor, low level of literacy, low level of education, religion, in particular for the contraception service. Some, as I said, substantial geographical inequalities and shortage and inequality distribution of human resources in healthcare services. So the objective of this project was, first one is the most important, is to develop and evaluate a complete ICT-based solution to improve the accessibility and quality of reproductive health services. So this is how we have designed the solution. It will be mainly consist of three components. The first one will be a mobile application for the contraception. So it will be an app that will be executed on the smartphone of the woman. The second one is a system for pregnancy monitoring for the prenatal service, in which we have two components. We will have the mobile personal health record in the smartphone of the pregnant woman, and this mobile personal health record will interact with what we call electronic health record. This is a web-based application that is in the maternity. So both components constitute the system for pregnancy monitoring for a pregnant woman. And a mobile app for postnatal, which will be used by the new mother in order to manage the health of her health and also the health of her baby. And all those apps and the system and the web application, we have developed for each one a requirement catalog. And it was really a task that takes a lot of time, because we need to look what are the requirements that should be implemented in each app. And to do that, we have first done a literature review on all the studies that are dealing with reproductive health services. Second, we have done a review on all the apps of reproductive health services that are available on App Store, mainly on Google Play and Apple Store. And from these reviews that we have done, even in the literature or in the existing apps, we have collected all the requirements that can be relevant for postnatal, for prenatal, and for contraception. And also another resource of collecting requirement was the empirical activities that we have done in the maternity les arrangées. So my PhD students were for 4 months in this maternity, trying to understand what is included in the prenatal services, what is included in the postnatal service, and what is included in the contraception service, in order to validate all the requirements that we have collected from the literature. And at the end, we have obtained 3 different catalogs of requirements, one for contraception, one for pregnancy monitoring, and one for postnatal. And based on these 3 requirements catalog, we have developed the 3 applications. So this is the main objective, is developing and evaluating this solution. The second objective is, after developing this application, to study the core quality characteristic to implement it in by the application in order to reach a high level of quality according to the ISO 25010, which is the standard of evaluating quality developed by ISO. And as you know, this standard have 8 characteristics, which are subdivided, I think, in more than 24 sub-characteristics. And not all the characteristics are relevant in our case. So the first step is to adapt this standard for our case. Selecting only the characteristics and the sub-characteristics that are relevant and affecting the quality of our solution, and trying after to implement this characteristic and sub-characteristic in our solution. So it was the second objective. The third one is after that, to develop and evaluate data mining. This is a small piece of machine learning in this project, but let me say the most part important for us was development of the solution and the evaluation of the quality. So it was to develop and evaluate a data mining-based system for the management and prioritization of reproductive health requirements according to each stakeholder. Our solution can be used by different stakeholders. It can be used by women, by doctors, by nurses, by developers, someone who need to develop an app specific to reproductive health service. It can be used by an evaluator, someone who need to evaluate existing apps. So the catalog is not mandatory for all these stakeholders. So we try to have a kind of a decision making given the profile of the user and given the objective of the user. The system will choose only the requirement that are relevant for the user. So this is mainly the idea of this objectives. Okay, so for each objective you have a research question that should be addressed and answered in this project. For the first one is, can a comprehensive ICT-based solution improve the accessibility and the quality of reproductive health services for women in Morocco? For the second objective, which ISO 25010 quality characteristic to be implemented in our solution. And the second one is the intelligent system of the management, and prioritization of reproductive requirements help for a given stakeholder. So this is the main 3 question related to the 3 objectives. And for these 3 questions, we have 3 indicators, because we need to know at what extent we have reached the level of satisfaction of each objective. So the first one, we will measure the compliance of the woman with our solution, the contraception, the postnatal, and the mPHR by the women, and also the compliance of our EHR by the gynecologists, because mainly the EHR will be used by the gynecologists in the maternity hospital. The second one is identifying and evaluating the relationship between the core quality characteristic to be implemented in our solution and the quality in use. This is a different concept in the standard. You have the quality evaluated by you and by the external, and you have also the quality evaluated by the user, which the standard called quality in use. And measuring the compliance of the stakeholder with the intelligent system. Okay, so this is how we organize the project. So we will have 2 groups, the experimental groups and the control groups. So the experimental groups will be for women that will use our solution in order to access to the services in the maternity les Orangers. And the control group will consist of women that will continue to access to the services in the maternity les Orangers, but without using our application. So the idea is to look at the end when evaluating the service, even whether we use our application or without our solution, and compare at the end if there is any improvement and satisfaction from the user that proves that our solution really improve the quality, the accessibility, and the quality of these three services. Okay, so I will go provide you with an overview of each app, given that now the apps are available in Google Play, so everyone can download these three apps and use them in her smartphone. So here, just to give you some screenshots about the solution. So here you have the prenatal system, the mobile apps. The name of the mobile apps is Magrocess. So if you look in your Google Play and by the word Magrocess, you will find this apps. And the electronic health record is in the maternity. So here you have the most functionality, the main functionality that will be provided by the system. So you have how to manage doctor, patients, how to set appointment by the gynecologist, and also how to manage the personal health record for each patient. And here you have the woman, the pregnant woman, that what can be used. So you have different options here. mPHR, this is the option in which the woman can have all the information about her personal health record. Measurement allows the pregnant woman to enter her weight and her blood pressure. So here, appointment in order to look for what is the agenda for each gynecologist, so she can choose an appointment and so on. So if you want more information, just look for Google Play and you can have the app. The same for the contraception app. So here you have some screenshots of the app. So you can log in, also available in the Google Play. All the applications are available in 3 languages. They can be used in Arabic, they can be used in French, and they can be used in English. So the name of the application is My Contraception. And here you can use your account Facebook or account Gmail to log in. This is the main screen. You will have your current cycle and the day in this cycle, and a kind of prediction if on this day the low or the high chance to get pregnant. And this is this prediction. We used an algorithm that is provided by the World Health Organization, and also we have validated this algorithm with the maternity les oranges. So this is how we can predict if for this day from the current cycle is with low or high chance to get pregnant. And you have also other functionalities. This is the main menu in which you can have the appointment, to set appointment with your gynecologist. You can choose language in settings. You can choose also reminders. This is really important, depending on the contraceptive method used by the women. So if the contraceptive method is with pills, you have reminder for taking pills each day. You have also a reminder for the ovulation period, the first day and the end day of this period, and so on. And you have also the opportunity to enter some notes related to your symptom, your moods, weight, temperature. So all this information are saved in the, not in the phone, but are saved in the backend of the application. Okay, for the postnatal apps, there is a video demonstration in which you will have another view of what are the functionalities that are provided by the app. The name of the app is Mama and Baby, also available in 3 languages. So let me just start the. Let me check again.
Hi. Check. Pop up now.
for the evaluation, okay, and for the evaluation, the prenatal and the postnatal apps will be evaluated by pregnant women during the period of pregnancy, and after delivery, the women continue to evaluate both application, the prenatal and the postnatal. And the EHR will be evaluated by gynecologists of the maternity les arrangées or other gynecologists with which we can have a future collaboration. For the experimental group, they will rate the mobile application of our solution, and they will evaluate the extent to which the ICT solution has fulfilled the health needs of the women and has promoted to access to reproductive health care services in Morocco. And for the control group, they will do the same, but without using our solution. Okay, for the third objective, for which we are looking for how to use an intelligent system in order to prioritize and manage the requirements. So here you have different type of stakeholder. It can be user. It can be user means women, doctors, and nurses maybe, developer and evaluate, plus the context, what they are looking for, pregnancy monitoring, for contraception or for postnatal. And then the intelligence system using some machine learning technique will will select what are the relevant requirements to be implemented and to be considered in this case. The output should be similar to this one. For example, here you have for someone who is looking for prenatal, maybe estimated due dates will be the most important, so we should be implemented in the app. Counting contraction, tracking baby's movement, geolocalization of nearby hospital. So it looks like the outputs should be help the stakeholder in order to manage the requirements. And after that, the satisfactory survey measure the compliance of the stakeholder with the intelligence system. If really the requirement selected by the intelligence system is really the requirement that the stakeholder is looking for. So the achievement until now, we are at the third year of this project. This is a no-cost, what they call no-cost estimation, because the projects have originally only 2 years. So this is our third year due to the pandemic circumstance. So what we have achieved until now, in terms of academical achievement, 2 PhD theses were completed, one in prenatal, the other one in postnatal. 4 master theses also completed. This is a team that has developed the application, and I would like to thank all of them because this is a huge effort to develop the application, and also that the applications are accepted and approved by Google Play. And there is one ongoing PhD student of Manal Kharbouch is in contraception for publication, 6 papers in different journals, 4 in Q1 rated journal, 2 in Q2, and 6 conferences in CAR, 1 in CAR B, and 5 in CAR C. And here you have the Google Play link from which you can download, or you can just search by name of the apps, and you can have the opportunity to use them. Okay, next step, but still remain in this project, is to carry out the empirical evaluation. We have 2 possibilities. One is in progress, is selecting participants from maternity les arrangées, and they will use, we have until now 50 women that are involved in this evaluation. And we hope that after that, because we are now in close collaboration only with maternity rhinology, to have other maternity centers around the Rabat, Salé, Kinitra region. And we launched a collaboration with the Ministry of Health, especially Department of Population, because this is in this department that are this reproductive health services is very interesting. Also develop and publish the iOS, because our application now is only available on Android, not yet in iOS. And also to deepen knowledge on other more specific related area to reproductive health. Look for gestational diabetes. You know, this is a kind of diabetes that can happen for a woman during the period of pregnancy, and this is very important to manage these cases. Also, look for the breast cancer, because this is a package that can be related to reproductive health services, and we have a project that was approved recently, and this is the first year of this project. This is another type of application of machine learning in breast cancer. And also look for different gynecological cancer to have a complete package that deal with most of the related aspects and issues related to the reproductive health service. Okay, the challenges that we faced, mainly the pandemic. It was really very difficult because the pandemic happened at March 2020, and it was the period in which we should start the empirical evaluation. We cannot access to the maternity rhinology for 1 year, and it delayed the progress of the project. Reluctance of people to take part in the study, this is also true. Propagation of negative health-related stereotype among women, and also lack of confidence in adopting mobile technologies, since there are a lot of questions about personal data protection and so on. Thank you very much. Maybe I will check in the chat box if there is.
Thank you very much, Professor Ali Idri, for this nice and interesting presentation about the use of developing mobile application for e-health in general and specifically for women pregnancy and natal. If you have any questions, please. For the assistants in Microsoft Teams, you can raise your hand or write your question in the chat. If not, I have one, but I prefer be the last.
Thank you, Professor Idri, for the presentation. And my question is about the use of, did you think about the use of devices, the Internet of Things, to collect data first using these mobile applications, and then make prediction models? How do you manage two aspects, Internet of Things and prediction and artificial intelligence?
Okay, until now we didn't include IoT in our solution, since all the information that should be entered by the patient or by the doctor are done throughout the solution, like temperature, like blood pressure. So until now we didn't include to use some sensors in order to have the temperature or other characteristic of the health characteristic of the woman. So just you need to answer these values on the app or by the EHR of the gynecologist. So until now we didn't have this. This is mainly software for managing and monitoring these services. Other parts like machine learning or IoT, in order to have real data, are now until now are excluded. But it may be interesting for other extension that we can look further in this project.
I want to know how you deal with the privacy or the confidentiality of the information collected from the patients. I think that they cannot provide you all the real data.
Yeah, this is an interesting question, and we faced really this question when we submitted our tree solution to the Google Play, and they required some requirements in order to be included for data protection. And all these requirements were satisfied by our team in the version that is available on the Android, like login. In the backend, we use the Firebase, and you can see only your data. If you lose your smartphone, no worries, data are stored in the backend, so no data in the smartphone, so you are protected. But it was really a challenge for us to satisfy this kind of requirements.
Thank you. If you have other questions, please. Professor Ali Idri, you say that you use 2005, 25010 ISO standard for developing mobile application. My question is about the use of other ISO, because we have other ISO for medical or e-health application. How can you manage the use of these two kind of specification?
Yeah, there are a lot of standards. In software engineering, the well-known standards in terms of evaluating the quality is 25010. But since we are applying this software to medicine, medicine is a science that they have a long traditions in data protection. Not like as in computer science, everything is open, so you can use. No, they have a lot of restrictions, a lot of requirements that you should satisfy. But until now, what we did is just looking for the ISO 25010, and all the other requirements we have them from our clinical partner, because they have more experience and they are in the field of medicine, and we try to satisfy this requirement, but really in the classical way, not looking for standards in medicine and try to implement them.
Thank you. I don't so if you have questions on Teams.
There is no question in the. Please, if there is any question, share it. No, this is you.
I think there is one.
Okay.
Thank you, Professor, for your. I can't read. It's so small. Thank you, Professor. You can raise your hand.
What and where is the limit of the technology tool provided? I don't know. I don't get well the question, but the apps are now available only under Android, so that they cannot use it in any other smartphone. Like, for example, iOS or other. It should have as operating system Android, but regarding the limitation of mobile technologies, I think that they are common in terms of low screen for displaying, in terms of frequent disconnections, because this is a mobile application, and I think there are all these limitations are common. And for sure, we didn't deal with most of them. Like, for example, the frequent disconnection. How can the woman still working and still using the app, even there is this disconnection. So this is another challenge facing all the community that is trying to have development of software under a mobile platform.
Thank you very much, Professor Ali.
Thank you very much.
From the Higher National Institute of Computer Sciences and System Analysis. we have prepared a profile for Professor Ali Idri.